Welcome into another edition of the Stripe Show podcast, and what a day it was on yesterday. Boy, Kramer Hickok really stirred up some news. So I want to say welcome to all the new people that are here, all the new listeners here to the Stripe Show podcast. Welcome in. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you rate us. Give us all the kind of good stuff so we keep doing well. But thank you for being here. But yesterday really was insane. So Kramer Hickok told us that there are quite a few guys, 17, which is the first time we've had a number put on it, that there were 17 guys that were interested in possibly moving over to the Saudi League. We talked about it. He said he was not one of them, that he was perfectly happy playing on the PGA Tour. And I think that that's the sentiment of most guys. But once again, yesterday, that's what we had. And so today we have got one of the hottest players on the PGA Tour over the last few weeks. I mean, absolutely killing it. We're talking the 2022 AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am champ. He beat the likes of Jordan Spieth coming down the stretch. Second at the Amex, T14 at the Waste Management Phoenix. Second in the FedEx Cup points. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stripe Show podcast, Tom Hoge. Tom, thanks so much for joining us, man.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me on. Hopefully I'll keep this a little more down the middle of the road than Kramer did yesterday.
He really he got us off to a crazy start yesterday. And I don't think he really I don't think he's overstepped his bounds or anything, but I think he kind of put everything together, what we've been hearing for so long, and nobody really understands what's going on. Is this thing real? I think there's been people that have questioned whether the Saudi League is a real deal. And yesterday, maybe that let us know that it is real. We've heard rumors of hundreds of millions of dollars being offered to players. What's the chatter going on in the clubhouse and the locker rooms that you're hearing amongst players?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like you said, the rumors have been going on for so long now, and definitely know the guys that would be interested in this sort of thing. But I saw a few quotes from Colin Morikawa yesterday. And he kind of made the comment that, at this point, it's pretty much still just rumors. It doesn't seem like there's any real answers as far as what's going on and whatnot. And so, I think that the players are all kind of being mentioned and thrown out there, but until anybody really sees anything concrete, it's hard to really get on board with anything from a player standpoint. But, I guess at the end of the day, everybody's going to have their price. How much money can you put in front of somebody to make them say no, So it's an interesting time for golf. It's an interesting time to watch it play out. And I've just tried to go play well and see where it all falls.
Yeah, I mean, Colin brings up a good point where he said he dreamed of playing on the PGA Tour as a young boy, and now he is living his dream playing on the PGA Tour. I think that says a lot when we have guys like Tiger, when we've had somebody like Rory, we've had Brooks, we've had a lot of guys say, I understand what's going on over there, but that's just not for me. And Colin kind of said the same thing yesterday, that it's just not something he would be interested in.
Yeah, and that's kind of the part that I've always kept going back to, kind of when you first started hearing these rumors, is that it's a crazy amount of money guys are being presented with. But we've got such a great lifestyle out here. We've all made a lot of money to this point, and at some point you've got to have something more than money that's going to motivate you. But right. You certainly can't fault anybody for looking at that money and considering it, because it's a big number being thrown out there.
Yeah, I think the name that keeps coming up, there seems to be two names that really are kind of constantly coming up when it comes to this, and that's Bryson and Phil. And they seem to be guys that they think maybe would go. Phil is, towards the end of his career. He's had an amazing run, made a lot of money. It does seem strange that now he seems to have a gripe with the tour after how well he's the second most money winner of all time on the PGA Tour. Now to have a gripe about money seems strange. And then Bryson seems to have an axe to grind a little bit as well. They seem to be the two names, and I'm not sure who else would join them if they were to go. But it just seems weird it's such a heavy price to pay to not be able to play on the PGA Tour ever again, as they're saying, if that's something that you want to go do. It really kind of closes this out for you, and you have to hope that the Saudi League lasts long enough that you're able to continue playing golf.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would all be speculation on my point still, but the Saudis have so much money behind them that they can make this thing work as long as they want to, really. So I guess that's the stance that they're taking. I've heard those same two names kind of being their key guys as well, but like I said, it's all speculation and rumors from what I've heard. So I've got nothing real concrete, and certainly Kramer had a little better knowledge than I would have of the whole situation. But like I said, it's it's a really interesting time for golf. There's certainly been a lot of changes in the PGA Tour in the last year and a half, 2 years to kind of counter this as it is and keep these big name guys. And, at the end of the day, as a player, you kind of want to play where all the best players are. So hopefully we can keep things intact and keep moving the game forward.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about the PGA Tour. When you're losing or on the bottom, nobody's coming after you. But when you're on the top and your program and your sport is doing really well, that's when people start looking at you. So I think it says a lot about the state of golf and where we are. For a long time, it felt like as Tiger Woods went, the PGA Tour went. And let's be honest, the PGA Tour is better when Tiger Woods is out there, when Tiger Woods is a part of it. And it's great to have him this week as host at the Genesis and have him just being there is good. But golf is in a really, really good spot. And I think that's why it has opened up an opportunity like this for somebody to say, hey, we can take a little piece of the pie and be successful.
Yeah, for sure. The emergence of, sports betting and that sort of stuff has opened up a lot of doors too. And, just so many new ways to reach fans. And I think it's great for the game. I think that, COVID's had such a big impact on the game of golf and brought so many new people in as well. So, there's a lot of momentum and things are in a great spot. For me, I keep coming back to it that I get to play golf. I get to do what I love. We're at Pebble Beach, we're at Riviera, we're at some great golf courses and being compensated really well for it. So, I'm very grateful for the opportunities I've been given.
That really is the best way. When it really comes down to it and you really kind of run everything through and you see what's left in the pot is that you play some amazing golf courses set up just for you guys. It's absolutely beautiful. You see the world and you're playing golf for a living, which somebody like me, I'm terrible at golf. If I played golf for a living, I'd be skinny and broke.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's talk about your play over, last year, last calendar year, part of the fall series at the RSM, you played very, very well. I believe you had a second or a fourth or something there.
Yeah, fourth at the RSM, yep.
Yeah, and then you come out and the AT&T Pebble Beach, I remember I was watching that tournament. Jordan had a lead, and I saw out of the bunker on 17. He hits it out of the bunker, knocks it to about 5 feet. And then, of course, my wife says, hey, can you run to the store and grab something? And I'm trying to watch it on my phone while going to the grocery store. And yeah, Jordan did miss that 5-footer. He did hit it a little heavy out of the bunker. Didn't get up and down. But that's not why he lost that tournament. He lost that tournament because you went on a run there at the end that you went out and just took it away from him. What has allowed you to do that? Did something change in your game?
I don't know. I'd say anything changed. I would say I've just try to keep getting a little bit better every year. And, I would say if I look back, my iron game's always been my strength. Let's say what's held me back in the past, I need to drive a little bit straighter and I need to putt a little bit better. And things have been gradually improving there where I feel like I'm driving it pretty well. And, Pebble Beach is a good fit for me in that there's not a lot of drivers you have to hit, but when you do, there's generally pretty wide landing areas to get in. So, that all happened so fast. I was just trying to keep hitting good shots one after another and just kind of let it fall where it may. And, looking back, I hit it close there a lot on the back nine. And I guess I didn't quite realize at the time how many good chances that I had. I just kept firing in there one hole after another, it seemed like. But, for me, I really felt like I was a little too far back on the front nine because I made a double bogey on the 5th, a bogey on the 8th. And generally, if you make that many mistakes on a Sunday, you're probably not going to, have enough to get up there near the top. But
right.
Kind of like I had some new life almost. When I looked up making the turn and saw that I was still right in the game, only one shot back at that point.
Where were you on the golf course when you realized? Because I know you made a bomb of a putt. I believe it was on 17. You made a pretty big putt.
Yep.
Where were you on the golf course when you realized, wait a second, I know you said when going into the back nine, you were only one back, but then Jordan I think he got a 2-stroke lead at one point. Where were you where you realized, hey, I make a couple putts here and I got this thing?
Yeah, I would say I never felt like I got this thing, but
standing on 18 on 18T, did you think, hey, I've got this, or are you still just keeping with your game plan?
Well, I knew I was up 2 at that point, but Jordan's up ahead of me, and he seems to hold a shot from everywhere all the time. And I knew Bo Hostler was still behind me with a chance, so it wasn't like it was over at that point yet. But I made a nice putt on 11 from above the hole. That was a big breaking putt from about 10 feet, and then on 14 I hold about a 20-footer, and I knew I was still chasing at those points, but had some good chances coming ahead with the pins that were ahead. But yeah, like I said, you don't feel like it's over until that last putt goes in and the last groups hold out. So even after I finished, I felt great the whole way. I hit it above the hole on 18, had a tough 2-putt coming down the hill, and I felt fine the whole way until I ran it by about 4 feet and looked up and Bo Hostler standing in the middle of the fairway, only 2 back. So somehow I shook that one in the left side of the hole, and it all worked out for me.
Yeah, I mean, a 2-shot lead does give you a little bit of extra cushion there, but you're right. That 4-footer, it's got to look like trying to fit a ball in a thimble when you're trying to make a 4-footer to win a golf tournament.
Yeah, and I felt great the whole day, and then all of a sudden I kind of looked up walking down. I was like, "Oh shit! Don't be the guy to blow this one here." So got me a little more nervous. I needed to be over that 4-footer, but yeah, I mean, it was cool. I've had troubles on 18. Last year I was in the final group with Jordan Spieth, and I hit driver right at that tree in the middle of the fairway, and it stuck in the tree. I had to go back and re-tee. Oh. So I've had my share of problems there in the past. It was nice to have a 2-shot lead going to that tee and kind of take driver out of my hands.
Wow. Now going back to just this past week at the Waste Management, another great week. I saw your name on the leaderboard. You're up near the top all weekend long. I know you had a great run on Saturday to get back in the mix again. And there's been so much talk about the Waste Management and is it good, is it bad for golf? Well, you know what? Actually, I'm going to ask you your opinion first. Do you like what the Waste Management is? Do you like what it represents in the field of golf?
I think it's fantastic for golf. I mean, we get more people there on Saturday than you get at most tour events, for a week. So, yeah, it's fantastic. Does it go overboard at times? For sure. I mean, but if you're signing up for that tournament, you know what you're getting in for, and you've just got to embrace it. And we were talking, Thursday, Friday, I was playing with Max Homa, and he mentioned the Thunderbirds were wanting to see a hole-in-one again because it's been a few years. Yeah. And I mean, what a cool deal when those hole-in-ones start going in Saturday and Sunday. We were on the 3rd hole on Sunday. It was weird because on Saturday, I think we were a couple groups behind Sam Ryder when he made the one. And for some reason, I didn't hear that one at all. We were out on 14, I think, a little ways away. But on Sunday, we were on the 3rd hole, looked over at 16, and you could see beer flying through the air from a few holes over. So pretty funny. And, that's kind of our one event a year that we get something like that. So we can all deal with it for 1 week.
I agree. I love it. I think it's good for the game of golf. I've got a couple buddies of mine that are not huge golf fanatics. One's an NFL coach. And on Saturday night, he brought it up to me. He's like, "Oh man, I saw that hole-in-one today at the golf tournament." And it puts eyes on our sport that maybe aren't always on our sport. And so therefore, I think it's good. I know the golf purists have a issue with it. They sound like the old "get off my lawn" guys, but it's exactly. Fun. It adds. I think there's 3 types of people at a golf tournament. You have people like me that are going to go no matter what. You have your old school people who like the way things are, the way they used to be. And then there's people that are going to a golf tournament who really aren't really into the golf tournament, but they're going and they're learning, and it's still putting new eyes on our sport. And I think that's who that brings. And I would like to see more tournaments embrace that and maybe have that type of atmosphere. Not exactly like that. I know that tournament's always going to be kind of the top of the mountain when it comes to that atmosphere. But I would like to see that embraced and maybe woven into a couple other tournaments where we have the ability on those kind of holes to do that again.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, whatever we can do to get more fans out at our events is great. And ultimately, more kids that are able to be exposed to the game because they're kind of our next wave here. So, it's great. I know a lot of events have tried to kind of make a signature hole like that on their course. Phoenix works well because that's a pretty easy hole for us. Some of the other ones, they try to do it on 17 at PGA National at the Honda next week. That hole's brutal. Yeah. Not the hole to be getting heckled for sure. But, yeah, it's fun. Anything to kind of keep golf, light and fun and moving forward here, I think is great.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And when we talked to Kramer yesterday, Kramer said that he was on the range. He had finished. He had gone through about 45 minutes or an hour before Ryder's hole-in-one. And he said you could smell the beer on the range. That's how much beer was in the air.
Yeah.
The people just like throw it. And then there was a hole-in-one. I think there was 2,700 some odd tee shots in between the last hole-in-one and Sam Ryder's. And then 33 shots later, Ortiz knocks one in, which Ortiz's shot was much further. I guess the pin was much deeper on Sunday than it was on Saturday.
Yeah, the pin wasn't back Sunday. It was funny because we came through after Sam did, and I made about a 20-footer for birdie. Nobody really seemed to get that excited after the hole in one. So their expectations changed a little bit for sure.
It did. And then on Sunday, I don't know if you saw Justin Thomas chipped in. He hit it over the green. He chipped in, and they started throwing him again on the. It's like they were just ready to party on Sunday. But Kramer said there's a lot more people there on Saturday than there is on Sunday. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's well over 200,000 on Saturday, and I would be shocked if they got to 100,000 on Sunday. So it definitely clears out things a little bit easier come Sunday to try to win a golf tournament.
That's insane. It is fun. And I'm actually here in Ponte Vedra at the home of the Players. And so we've got that coming up in a couple of weeks. And 17 is a fun atmosphere, not a very long hole, 137 yards. However, once again, it does bring that atmosphere of there's a lot of people. You can hear, even when people are quiet, when you're about to tee off, you can still hear kind of the chatter of the people talking, just a rumble. And everybody's waiting for a hole in one on that hole as well. And they've put that atmosphere there to an extent.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, that's a very penalizing hole as well if you miss, much more so than Phoenix. So, that one's tough. That one I would say is more so the pressure. Such a big golf tournament that we all want to win, a lot of money at stake. Now with the $20 million purse, so
right.
There's a lot more factors at play on 17 and Sawgrass than there are in Phoenix, and that's a hole that you walk up on Monday, Tuesday, there's no problem hitting the middle of the green, away you go. And by Sunday, that green gets firm and the wind comes up, and that thing's brutal.
It is. And you even see it when you're coming up 16, because you've got the par 5 16th there. From your second shot on 16, if you try to go forward, even if you lay up, it's right there. It's just over your right shoulder, and you don't even really want to look over at it because it's there.
It's the first 15 holes too. You're waiting for that one too.
You are. I don't know about you. I played it in a media day. I played it in a media day last Monday, so about 10 days ago. And I remember wanting to hit a shot that kind of felt like I was going to hit on 17 before I got there, just so I had that feeling of what that good shot would feel like. Do you guys do that as you kind of get closer to that hole? Do you have that shot you try to feel?
Not a lot. I mean, the hardest part for me in my game, I feel like, is that I'd love to hit a full pitching wedge, but it doesn't seem to quite get on top of that ridge in the middle of the green. And so I'm always trying to chip a 9-iron to some back pins that can bounce right through real fast. So it's just kind of that in-between yardage for us they set us up for, and makes that shot pretty hard.
It really is. I mean, it is a great golf hole. It's fun. And I mean, my buddies, anytime I tell them I played TPC Sawgrass, all they ever say is, "What'd you do on 17? What'd you do on 17?" Yeah, exactly. Do you guys do that as pros? Do you look back and see, hey, what'd they do on 17?
A little bit, probably not to the extent, just because we play so many more rounds there. But what a cool hole. I mean, what a finish. You've got such an exciting par 5, the 16th hole, where you can make, we saw 2 there a few years back with Rafa.
Yep.
You can make a big number as well. I mean, all those holes have such a wide variety of scores you can make, and 18 is just a very demanding finishing hole. So, a great finish for kind of our major as the Players' Championship.
Yeah, that 18 drive is nothing that you want to mess with. I mean, last year, I still think Justin Thomas can't believe that ball ended up in the fairway. He hit that 3-wood. It started out at the trees, but it looked like it was no way going to stay dry. It hit a down left slope and kicked right and stayed into the fairway. I guess just when it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But the drive on 18 is definitely an underrated tee shot on how difficult that is.
Yeah, and I mean, even the second shot, they put that pin front left there for us for Sunday. And I remember in the practice round last year, I was hitting chips from kind of short right of the green, and just with the speed of the firmness of the greens, chips were going in the water from right there. So, you definitely can't bail out on the second shot into 18 because you'll be over there on the right and kind of those hills, and just a great finish. And you've really got to step up and hit some great golf shots in order to win that golf tournament.
Right. Tom, has anything changed in your game? I mean, from last year at the RSM to the Amex to the AT&T to the Waste Management, did something change? Did you find something that you just feeling so much more comfortable with?
No, I mean, I felt like I was playing really well at the end of last year, probably even better than I am right now. I just didn't putt as well the last couple of weeks when I really hit it well. And so even at Palm Springs, I felt like I played fantastic tee to green the whole week and had a kind of an average putting week. and things kind of clicked for me when I switched putters there at Pebble Beach to a putter that my caddy Henry had made. But
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, can we get a little deeper into that? Like you were not just going to gloss right over that. So I know you were struggling putting, or to your standards, you were struggling putting. And so he decides to he comes up with an idea, but the putter that he wanted to make for you does not exist. And so he went to Odyssey and ordered it and had a different neck put on it. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I started off Hawaii. I missed the cut on a golf course I feel like I should play great at every year. Didn't putt that well on the second day. Finished second in Palm Springs and still felt like I was kind of so putting. I was trying out some different putters at the start of the week at Torrey Pines. Missed the cut there, even though I felt like I played pretty good. And went home that weekend and kind of went and messed around with some old putters. I've been a kind of a spider guy. Mm-hmm. I've kind of always been a mallet putter with the plumber's neck sort of setup.
The plumber's neck is the one that kind of goes like this. It's got the over and down.
Yep, okay. Exactly. And, I like to line up my line on the golf ball putter. I get those to match pretty good. And I just seemed to be having some problems with alignment and where my eyes were looking down the line. And I didn't know about it. I showed up Monday to Pebble Beach, and Henry had a putter from Odyssey for me, Odyssey 2-ball with the plumber's neck on it. And he said he had that in the works for a few weeks. I had no idea. They had some problems with the weight, getting the weight right, because the plumber's neck added a lot of weight with the head. So they were constantly trying to shave some more weight off, get the swing weight right. But, it looks so good when you set it down to me. It lines up, sets up real square. And I just loved it right from the get-go. The results spoke for themselves there that week. So
the first time you put it in the bag was at the AT&T.
Yeah.
And you won with it.
Yeah, and
made some pretty big putts.
Yeah, I brought the spider out from home that week. I was pretty convinced I was going to go back to the spider when I was flying to Pebble Beach. And even through Wednesday, I was kind of working back and forth still with both of them, and ultimately decided not going with this new 2-ball that Henry had set up for me. And I made some bombs right off the bat on Thursday there at Pebble Beach, and some putts that I really didn't expect to make. And some big putts on Sunday for sure.
So I'm guessing that this one is in the bag to stay. The spider went back to the house and is going to be in the locker for a while on the bench.
Yeah, hopefully things work out that way. It's golf though, so it's on a week by week basis for sure.
You know what? It feels good to hear you say that, because me, in the room I'm sitting in my studio here in my house, I've got a little putting mat, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 putters over there. There's a couple spiders. There's a couple Scotty Camerons. There's a couple 2-balls. We're the same way. So this putter now, it's hot, but it doesn't mean that you'll never try something else again.
Oh yeah. You never know when it's going to start acting up. So you got to keep a few options close by. Because
it's never the arrow. It's always got to be the Indian, but we're going to change out that arrow because we're not going to blame ourselves.
Absolutely.
It really is crazy how golf works. We were talking to Kramer yesterday, and Kramer said that he actually, his game had been going pretty well lately. And he said that he found a tip on Instagram, a golf tip, where his takeaway thought was he was shaking hands with somebody going back and then holding a pizza tray at the top. And that's what he thought, and that it's worked for him. What's the strangest either swing thought or place you've ever gotten a golf thought from that's actually worked for you?
That's a good question. I don't know that I've ever had anything quite like that. Maybe I need to search for some more help. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of anything like that.
Do you ever watch YouTube videos or Instagram or anything for golf tips? Or are you more with some guy that goes out and digs it out of the dirt?
Yeah, I would say I'm definitely more the guy that digs out of the dirt. And for me, I would say I'm a lot more of a field player. I like to work the golf ball both ways, high, low. So, when I get off, I generally go back to, just trying to hit a lot of the shots I'm having trouble with. If I'm kind of over fading it, whatever, I'll hit a lot of draws and try to work my golf swing back into form that way.
No, I know that you cannot watch the TV coverage that goes on, obviously, while you're on the golf course, but I want you to know that Nick Faldo was getting very cheesy while watching you on Saturday. I don't know if you've heard this yet or not, but on Saturday you rolled in a pretty good putt, and I think you had made 2 or 3 birdies in a row. And Nick Faldo used the term, and I quote, "Tom Hoge's on a roll." And I'm like, no, we're not going to do that. I'm like, no,
Probably
no,
not the first guy to say that. Yep.
no, he's not. I'm like, come on, you can do better than that, Sir Nick. But it is fun to see. It was great to watch in somebody that I think most people, as watching the AT&T, felt like, hey, Jordan's going to win this tournament. He won it in the past. He's got a lead. And then what can maybe you can speak to how life-changing is it to win a PGA Tour event?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know if I was quite prepared for that moment when I finished everything that went with winning, and it really didn't sink in for a while. But you know, looking back now for a little over a week, you know, winning at Pebble Beach, you know, such an iconic place, so many great champions there, you know, it carries so much meaning. The events that it gets me in going up, coming forward, you know, Augusta National, the Masters, a place that I've always wanted to play and I've never been to watch, never stepped foot on property. So,
wow.
So that's a big one for me. You know, I mean, there's just so much that goes with it, so many doors that are opened that it is huge. And, you know, being my 8th year out here, I would say I've always felt like I'm the guy that's just trying to get to the next year on the PGA Tour. You know, just keep my card every year, check off the next year out here, and now all of a sudden I've got to kind of reassess those goals. And you know, I've got a couple of years of exemption now
Right.
in all the majors, pretty much in all these big events. So you know, time to set the sights a little bit higher and try to push myself a little bit harder.
You know, my favorite part of your answer there is something that you didn't say. It didn't have a damn thing to do with the money. And I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure, listen, I'm sure the check on Monday morning was nice. I'm sure it was great. However, that's not why you're there. And that also leads me back a little bit to the money grabs that people are reportedly going to make. But the fact that the life-changing episode for you was you are able to play more PGA Tour events now, guaranteed for a couple of years. You're going to be able to go to a golf course that you've always dreamed of playing that you've never stepped foot on. Those are life-changing events that you'll always remember. There was a time that Tiger Woods didn't know who Tom Hoge was. He was asked about it because you were a 36-hole leader. And I believe you played with Tiger. Am I correct?
Yep.
Well, now your name is on a trophy at a golf course that Tiger Woods' name is on. Those are the life-changing things that the PGA Tour does that is not going to happen in another league.
Without a doubt. I mean, well said. You know, I will say, you know, with a good run of play there leading into Pebble Beach, that it was probably one of the first tournaments I've played where I really wasn't thinking about money or FedEx Cup points or anything coming down the stretch, because I had locked up my card already for the year. I've been comfortable financially, you know, with some good play in the past. So it was kind of one of those first times where you're really free to just go out and try to win this golf tournament. And that can change things quite a bit. And, you know, for me, like I've said, you know, with so much talk with Saudi Golf League and this and that, and, you know, I've kind of been hit with more of a sense of gratitude and just be grateful. You know, we touched on it earlier. I was at Pebble Beach playing their Spyglass, you know, unbelievable golf courses. The weather was perfect. You're getting paid millions of dollars to go do this. Life's pretty good. We've got everything that we want. So just be very grateful for what I've got.
It is pretty good. Was there a time in the past, Tom, where you did stand over a putt and the amount of money, what that putt was worth or could be, was in your head? Absolutely.
I mean, a lot of them, especially when you're coming down the stretch on Sundays, because, you know, it's big money when you're up there at the top. And, you know, those are some big putts, you know, and more so than the money is, you know, keeping your card, getting into the, you know, once you keep your card, get into that next FedEx Cup event. You know, there's so many implications that every putt has coming down the stretch as far as opening up new doors for more golf tournaments for you. So those thoughts are always there, and it's the guys that can kind of manage that the best that can seem to start making those putts on Sunday.
And I know I saw on your Instagram yesterday you posted your Masters invite. Was that sent to your house or was that handed to you? How did that work?
Yeah, that was sent to our house. My wife Kelly was at home this week, so she was able to open that one, and pretty cool. You know, that's kind of what you've always set out. You know, for me, you know, Tiger winning in 1997, the Masters, was kind of one of those moments that really got me pushed into golf and hooked on it. And, always wanted to play in the Masters. Such a cool event, and I think that everybody always looks forward to that one here. Just because it's so recognizable. Playing the same golf course every year. And like I said, I've never stepped foot on the property.
Wow.
I'm not one of those guys, I would say, that said I wasn't going to go until I played. I don't know if I really had that thought, but I'm certainly looking forward to it.
That it really is life-changing to be able to play Augusta National. Can you talk a little bit about that round in 2015 when you were paired with Tiger? What was that experience like? Were you super nervous? Did being paired with Tiger affect your play? Like, how did that day go? Because I'm sure you still remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was my first time in the final group on a weekend, paired with Tiger, tied for the lead on Saturday at Wyndham. And I was going into the week, about 130th in the FedEx Cup. So I needed a good week in order to make the FedEx Cup playoffs the next week. And, the way my season had gone, I really did nothing until about May or June. And I played great for a couple months to get me to that point. I had some top 10. So I've been playing really well. I felt great about how things were. And, you get to play with Tiger, who I'd always looked up to on Saturday. So I was fired up. I was ready to go. It was funny because I hit two great shots. I hit a hybrid off the tee and a wedge in there to a front left pin to about 4 feet just above the hole. Tiger steps up and makes about a 15-footer. Everybody's going nuts. And I got over that putt. It's probably a couple balls outside left from 4 feet down the hill. And I've never felt like that over a putt before. Just the excitement, the adrenaline, everything you've got going in your body, and just to try to feel still over a putt was like impossible.
Right.
And then to top it off, I felt like if I lipped that putt out on the high side, I could putt it off the green down a hill about 20 yards away. So I just lagged that 4-footer up there close, and away we went that day. But
how was the experience playing with Tiger?
It was fantastic. He's great to play with. Makes it very easy for you. And
do you think he understands that you're nervous? Does he understand that you're probably playing in front of a bigger crowd than you've ever played in front of? Does he seem to understand that's going on?
Well, he's certainly aware that when he holds out, the crowd's there's no controlling what the crowd's going to do at that point. So he tries to make it easy for you and let you go first to finish if you want to. Just very respectful. And it's amazing seeing what he goes through every day that he tees it up. The crazy stuff that's being yelled at him all day long to try to get his attention. I guess really looking at it, he's got the 16th hole at Scottsdale every day of his life, basically, everywhere he goes.
That's a good point.
But it's pretty eye-opening to see. But, I played great that day. It was a lot of fun. I felt like I played well. And, being in those situations and environments, are kind of what leads to the next step towards winning. And you need those days to really figure out where you stand and what you got to do better internally.
Now you're playing this week in the Genesis. Is this your first time playing the Genesis, or have you played it multiple times before?
I've played probably 3 or 4 times in the past. It's one of my favorite golf courses on tour that we play, Riviera. And I would say, certainly up there for pretty much everyone on tour. Such a great golf course, tee to green. You've got to hit it great around here. There's no faking it. And it's just one of those golf courses that you look at it and none of the holes seem that difficult themselves, but it's just very, very hard to put a good score together at the end of the day and really shoot a low number.
It is. And I'm sure you've got a Pro-Am later today that you'll have to be at. Have you played the golf course already this week?
I played on Monday in a Pro-Am as well. The course is playing firm. I expect it to get real firm by the weekend. Not a lot of rough this year. It's a little bit different, but we had some rain.
Was there a hailstorm yesterday?
Yeah, there's some rain, hail, everything yesterday. So I'm curious to see how that changed the golf course conditions as we get up there this afternoon.
Yeah, I saw a picture yesterday. It looked like almost like snow, but it was hail. But I don't know if that was just yesterday or if that happened before. So that will obviously have some effect on the golf course. It'll play a little different today than it played on Monday, correct?
Yeah, I expect it to be a little bit softer. Hopefully it'll firm up again by the weekend because Riviera, when it's firm, is as good as it gets. Yeah,
no, it really is a beautiful golf course. It's got that drivable par 4. That do you lay it up? Do you go? So what's your strategy now? As you go in, here we are on a Wednesday. You play your Pro-Am today. Golf tournament starts tomorrow. Do you have your strategy set for that drivable par 4, or will you judge it when you get there, depending on score and where you are?
Yeah. So my first year here, I guess it was my rookie year on tour. I played here in a very firm golf course that year as well. I went for the green when both the pins were on the left side of the green, laid up when they were back right. I think I birdied it both times I went for it and made a bogey and a double bogey laying up. So ever since then, my strategy has been pretty clear. I'm going for this green every time. And, really you just try to hit it in that front left, even the bunker's not horrible up there, 30, 40 yards short, because you've got the angle coming up the green there. You're just trying to get to that left side, even kind of back left as fast as you can, hopefully in one shot, and then just try to get it on the green and make a 4 and get out of there.
So that's what you'll do regardless of whether you're in first place or whether you're trying to make the cut.
Yeah, I mean, that hole opens up so much better if you're really coming up that angle of the green, or even if you're over there in some of the left trees, at least you've got a shot to use the slope in your favor. If you get right, if you get kind of back there, short or long right, you're coming straight downhill with no room, and it's no way to get on the green.
Really good field this week. Top 11 in the official World Golf rankings are in the field. One of the last 2 tournaments, we are seeing stronger fields. Do you enjoy playing in stronger field tournaments like that?
Absolutely. I mean, just that love of competition again. You want to see all the best guys playing. Hopefully, we're able to get a lot more of these guys that'll play, big events like this more frequently. And I think that's, what everybody wants to see, and the argument that this Saudi Golf League would have is that try to get the big name guys together a little more often outside of the majors. So, it's always been a great field here at Riviera. And this year's no different for sure. You got, I think you said it, I think 10 of the top 10 are here, all of them. So,
yeah. Now it adds to your FedEx Cup points. You get more FedEx Cup points and more official World Golf ranking points when there's a stronger field, right?
Yeah, I don't look a whole lot at that. I think that invitational status here on tour comes with a few more FedEx Cup points, but yeah, I have a hard enough time just trying to go play well, so that's all I'm trying to take care of.
That makes sense. Well, Tom, man, your story is amazing. You've played well over the last few months. Like I said, going back to the RSM last season, or actually earlier in the fall season with it being the wraparound. But it's really been an amazing run. And now, once again, you've got your status booked by winning. So you're not out there wondering if you're not playing for your life every single week. And now you're able to focus on your golf game, which obviously has had an amazing effect because now you're playing so much better. But before we let you get out of here and get onto your pro-am, we do a thing called the Emergency 9. So I'll ask you a quick 9 questions. Some are golf related, some are not. You just give me the first thing that comes to your head. So number 1, What is your favorite tournament on the PGA Tour?
Colonial's a favorite because it's the hometown one, but also this week at Riviera, I just really love playing this golf course.
Do you put more pressure on yourself to win in your hometown? Do you feel that?
I want to say there's more pressure to win. I think there's a lot of distractions that come from being at your hometown event. Just so much going on that week. But, it's so much fun being there at home, getting to sleep in your own bed and see a lot of friends.
Amen to that. Phone call or send a text message? What would you rather do?
Text message.
Text message. Okay. Yeah. I feel like most guys are like that. I feel like if I talk
exactly.
if I asked my wife, she'd say make 7 phone calls, but no, I'd rather. Music on the golf course or no?
I don't listen to music, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm fine with everybody having it on around me.
All right. The dumbest thing you've ever heard or seen from a fan on the golf course?
Oh my gosh. It had to be something with Tiger in the group.
People do yell dumb shit.
A lot of dumb stuff.
Like getting the whole guy on the par 5. Like, really, dude? I mean, come on. Really?
God, I can't think of anything specifically, but there would have been a lot from the days I was playing with Tiger because everybody's yelling something crazy to try to get his attention for sure.
That's insane. If you weren't a pro golfer, how would we know Tom Hoge? What would he be doing?
Well, you probably wouldn't know me, that's for sure. I don't know. I was kind of a numbers guy, accounting and finance was my degree. So I would say something down that path, but I'm certainly glad I don't have to use those degrees because I don't know if I would have made it very far.
Yeah, the truth. This will be a good question here. Player that you would be most nervous to be paired with. Now, most people answer Tiger, but you've already been paired with Tiger. So is there anybody you'd be more nervous to be paired with than you were with Tiger?
Tiger was it. I mean, those were some nervous days, and all that went with it. I don't know. I feel like, my 8th year on tour, I've been paired with pretty much everyone now. So I've been exposed to pretty much everything. So I think I'm in a pretty good spot now.
Obviously, you won't have to give any names, but obviously you enjoy being paired with some people more than others.
Yeah, no doubt. For me, I would just generally say that I enjoy the fast players over the slow players, and
that seems to be that is the golden answer every single time. Nobody wants to take forever to play golf.
Yep.
The most famous number in your cell phone.
That's a tough one.
You didn't exchange numbers with Tiger after the round?
No, I don't quite have Tiger's number, that's for sure. I don't know. Our football coach at TCU, Coach Patterson, was always
nice.
A legend. He's a good friend. Got to play with Ron Rivera, coach of the Washington. I don't even know what their name is now. They're the old football team.
Yeah, they're the command. They were the Redskins and the football team. Now they're the Commanders, yeah. I believe.
Yeah. He was a great guy to play with, but probably one of those guys.
That's awesome. Best or most memorable shot you've ever hit in your life?
I probably got to go with the shot into 16 at Pebble Beach now after that, all that came with that.
That was amazing. That was a good shot. And last but not least, are you a shop on Amazon guy, or do you have to go to the store and touch it?
I've got to go to the store. I don't know that I've ever bought anything off of Amazon, believe it or not.
Are you serious? That might be the most shocking thing we've heard yet. Forget what Kramer said
yesterday.
Hold
on. My wife can handle that, no problem. Okay, but I don't know if I've actually bought anything.
Wow, that's good for you, man. That's awesome. Good for you. Good for you. Well, what's your status moving forward now that you can play pretty much any tournament you want to play? Where will we see you moving forward after Riv at Genesis this week?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've got I've never been one to take a lot of weeks off because I go home and I play golf with the guys at home anyways. So I feel like I might as well play for $1 million every week instead of $40 at home every day. But
the only thing is you're guaranteed to win probably that $40 at home than the $1 million on tour.
Some of those guys have some good handicaps figured out. Times are tough.
They're sandbagging you, Tom. They're sandbagging you.
Exactly. In the short term, obviously I get in the Masters, I get in the match play. So those will be some new events on my schedule. But
you got Honda coming up. You playing Honda?
I'm taking Honda off. This is my 6th week in a row, so I'm ready for a week at home.
Play API.
I'll play Bay Hill. I'll play the Players. I'll take Tampa off probably, and then play match play. So, that's kind of as far out as I've got with my schedule so far, and hopefully take a look at that next week. And
then start ramping up for the Masters for your first trip to Augusta National. That's going to be a special drive the first time you drive down Magnolia Lane.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping I can get out and play a few practice rounds in advance and maybe take some friends over there.
That'll be awesome, man. Well, Tom, thanks so much for your time, man. Appreciate it. Good luck at Riv this week, and we will definitely hunt you down to say what's up at the Players. But good luck, and be here next week. We have got somebody that is never short of an opinion. We've got Brandel Chambly here on the Stripe Show podcast next Wednesday, so make sure you tune into that. I know Brandel's going to have a lot to say about Charlie Hoffman at the Waste Management, Phil Mickelson. He's already wrote an article about that. I spoke to him last night about Kramer Hickok in the Saudi League. So we will talk to Brandel Chambly next week. So you will not want to miss that. And we'll obviously recap Riv as well and preview what's coming up at the Honda. So thanks so much for tuning in to another edition of the Stripe Show podcast. We will talk to you guys soon. Don't forget, give us a good rating, subscribe, and we'll be here every single week. And thanks so much for tuning in.